Hello everyone, this is the InStyle Knitting Studio. Today, we will explore the characteristics of circular crochet. Let's start by creating a chain of 20 air stitches. And we will close the chain into a ring, that is, we will make a slip stitch into the first stitch of the chain. Here, our ring is closed. Now we will crochet it in a circle. To move on to the next row, we will make 2 air stitches for lifting, and we will crochet the next row with double crochet stitches. My lifting stitches will be included in the total number of stitches. So now I will crochet the second stitch into the next stitch of the chain. We will continue to the end of the row with double crochet stitches in each chain stitch. We should end up with 15 double crochet stitches. That is, the lifting stitches and 14 more double crochets. Now, reaching the end of the row, we will make a slip stitch. Often, a slip stitch is made by inserting the hook into the first stitch. That is, into the lifting stitches here, but I prefer to insert the hook into the second stitch. It works. Here are lifting stitches. Here is our second double crochet. So this is its stitch right here, and I make a slip stitch. That's it, we have connected our circle, the first row is completed. Now we make 2 air stitches for lifting. These 2 air stitches for lifting will be included in the total number of stitches in the row. So this gives me my first double crochet stitched. Now I make the second double crochet. I insert the hook not into this stitch, but into this one, the second. Because my first double crochet is practically done. These are my lifting stitches. If I were not including them in the total number of stitches in the row, I would insert the hook here. That is, I would make the first double crochet. Since I include the lifting stitches in the count, while crocheting the second double crochet, I insert the hook into the second stitch. I think everything is clear here. Next, until the end of the row, we will crochet each stitch of the previous row with double crochets. That is, we move from right to left. At the end of the row, we do a slip stitch into this stitch. Then, again, we make 2 chain stitches to rise. We crochet the next row with the same double crochets. It's possible to crochet not only double crochets. You can crochet other stitches without yarn overs or with several yarn overs. But the principle remains the same. That is, we are mastering circular knitting. Here we make a slip stitch, chain stitches, and move on to the second row. We constantly move from right to left, crocheting row by row. I will crochet several rows, and we will see clearly how our connection points look. Here, I have crocheted 5 rows. I made a chain stitch and cut the yarn. I tightened my loop. This is how it looks. I have 20 double crochets in each row. That is, 19 double crochets plus 2 chain stitches. We can notice that our chain stitches shift to the left with each row. A clear line is visible. I think you will crochet it. You will see it better somehow. Maybe the camera is not capturing it well here. For me, for example, it is very clear. And if there is a way to hide this seam, then this method of joining rows in circular knitting can be used. However, if not, I will suggest a second option, which is, well, sort of, probably a little better. Let's consider the second method. Here we will also crochet a chain of 20 chain stitches and a row of double crochets, just like in the first case. Here I have crocheted. Now we close it into a ring. We make a slip stitch. Then, 2 chain stitches to rise for moving to the next row. After that, we turn the work. That is, we turn it clockwise like this. Now the wrong side of the previous row is closer to us. The first column I have here is connected. These are my air stitches. We make a yarn over and crochet in the same way the columns with a yarn over, a whole row, so now I am crocheting the second column with a yarn over, third and so on until the end of the row. Here, you can also use not only columns with a yarn over, but other types of columns as well. But I will crochet columns with a yarn over, and we will compare our two methods later. This row should also have 20 columns. The second row is connected. Again, we make 2 air stitches for elevation. We turn the work again and crochet the third row, a slip stitch. The stitch, here is the third row connected. 2 air stitches for elevation. We turn the work again, we make a yarn over, insert the hook into this stitch and crochet again. This way, I will crochet a few rows. In this case, I have also connected 5 rows. Here is what I got. Well, what can I say? Here in principle there is no obvious transition from the seam visible. It is not that noticeable. But here our rows look different. Because we changed the direction of crocheting, that is, we crocheted one way, then turned the work the other way. So here we get such relief rows. Because from the front side, the front sides of the columns are visible. Back, front, back. Therefore, there is this kind of relief. This is our second method. Now I will place the first one next to it. Here, if you look from this side without a seam, there is a flat fabric. Here it is relief. The seam is noticeable here. It is not so visible here. In any case, you need to experiment. Choose what you like more and what suits your crocheting. I think the lesson was useful. If it was useful, give likes, subscribe so you won't miss the next lessons. And see you in the next video. Bye.